Hello, everyone. Welcome to Triple T Thursday. Shelly coming at you, and I have a special guest today. We are here today with MahatMama over here to my... Oh, did I do it? Oh, yes, I did it to the correct side. Oh, I can tell you almost every single time I point to the wrong side, but I'm so glad that you're here. First of all, MahatMama is an interesting username, so I feel like I need you to, one, introduce yourself, but then two, tell everybody how you came up with that username.
Well, MahatMama, I think it's funny. It's actually a deep cut Simpsons joke from, I think, I don't know what episode, but one of the earlier seasons. And Apu just kind of offhand calls Manjula MahatMama. And I loved it. So I was like, that is me. I'm MahatMama now.
I love that. I love it so much that it's also a deep cut from The Simpsons. Like, I was not expecting that. Do you watch The Simpsons?
Yeah.
You do?
Yes, I am obsessed. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
wrote many papers on The Simpsons.
Wait. What do you mean by papers? What do you mean by that?
Like, I wrote, like, college papers on the political, like, thing of, like, The Simpsons and different, like, sociology papers, things like that. I just related everything to The Simpsons. That was that was what I did.
That's amazing. I don't think I've ever heard that, the cultural phenomenon that comes from The Simpsons, because if you think about it, they have been around for so long, right? We're talking like the 80s with Tracy Ullman show, right? And like which let that be a lesson to everyone about, like, post your first drafts about even if they're ugly, because if you've seen those animations, they're nothing like they look now. But that's so fascinating. I love that. Okay, so we have to play a very important game. Do you know what the game is?
Is it the drinking game?
It is. Oh, yes, it is. All right. You totally nailed it. All right, so everyone out there, we like to play a little game at the very beginning of every show, and that's going to be what's in your cup. So this is where you tell us what's in your cup. We'll start with you since you're the guest.
Oh, Lord.
What do you got for us today?
I have water.
H to the O. All right, that's fancy.
Yeah. Shout out Stone.
What kind of water?
Drinking water.
What kind of water is it?
I do Dasani.
Dasani.
I know. I like Dasani.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what I'm drinking. Gotta hydrate.
I love how you say that as if like you're embarrassed that it's Dasani. I don't know. Is Dasani a good one or a bad one? I feel like it's good. It's good.
I don't know. I know there was some, like, questions on TikTok if it was or wasn't, but I believe that I like it. So it's my water.
Water of choice. Okay.
Yes.
I feel like people are very particular about their water sometimes, right? Because you see some of those snobs and then they're like, I only drink Fiji, or I only drink Voss, or, you know, like,
yeah,
I don't know, Poland Springs, whatever it is. All right, so I'm double fisting today. So in this one, we have the usual with the coffee, right? Because I'm a Seattle girl. And in this one, we've got a new flavor of sparkling ice. Usually it's the strawberry lemonade. Today it's pink grapefruit, so that's the double fist today. And crowd out there, if you're here and listening, let us know what's in your cup. Pixel P is here, and she says, as always, coffee and Dutch Can Jam. Hey, Dave. He says water as well. Is it Dasani? Is it Dasani?
Is it?
Oh,
let us know.
Jonathan Gatson says strawberry kiwi juice. All right, strawberry kiwi juice. That sounds good. Okay. So we have a very interesting show for you today. We're going to talk about a subject that might be a little bit more taboo for some. We're going to be talking about OnlyFans. So, MahatMama, do you want to tell us what is OnlyFans? And for some people, if maybe they don't know what OnlyFans is, do you want to, like, tell us what OnlyFans is?
Okay, yeah. It's literally just a platform where you can get paid to create content. So that is actually what it is. There are a lot of misconceptions about it, and people think it is all pornography, and it is not. So, but either way, it's a place to get paid for what you make, and I love it.
Now, I know that there were some, I know that there's some common, or it could be a misconception that the only type of content that is on OnlyFans is going to be adult in nature. But I have found that that is not necessarily true. And I've found some instances where, A lot of people are using OnlyFans for things such as it's a place where they can teach music lessons or singing lessons because they don't have to worry as much about copywritten music as much as like on a big platform like YouTube. Or I've seen stuff where it could be more medical or type of things where they won't get as much like censure, as on some of these other platforms that would take your videos down. I've also seen people doing just treating it like a Patreon. So would you say that, you've seen some other people using OnlyFans content in that similar type of way?
Oh, yes, definitely. Whenever you create an OnlyFans, you make it what it is. You create your audience, you create your content. So I have seen people have like a lawnmower show or something ridiculous that sounds ridiculous to maybe me or you, or like, a lawnmower show. But that sounds great to somebody who is talking about lawnmowers and has good information to give. So
I could imagine it could be something, because even something like that could almost be classified as medically gory or gross, potentially dangerous acts if you're talking about like in the blades and the weed whacker and like all of the things that can happen, and you're talking about like either riding lawnmowers or like the big weed whackers with like this, like that could be potentially dangerous acts. And that's the type of thing that could fall into some of those like weird categories on YouTube where it could possibly be taken down or demonetized. So I find that interesting. Okay, so we're going to establish it's just another video. Is it mainly video, or there are some pictures, or is it just mainly video?
Yeah, like it is. It looks a lot like Twitter, and it operates the same pretty much. You can have it. I call it my like adult Instagram is what I say.
Oh, okay.
And all I did was monetize my thirst traps. Like I would make jokes and just post myself in like a bikini or something, and then I had people being like, I would pay for that. And
you were doing this already on Instagram.
Yeah,
on the
for
regular
free.
Instagram. You were giving away all the goods for free.
Yes, that's why I'm sitting here being like, bro, if you're like doing this stuff just for fun on Instagram, you could be getting paid to do it on OnlyFans.
Interesting.
Just for being in a bathing suit.
So how did you even discover OnlyFans? How did you like hear about it and be like, oh, this sounds like a platform that I need to be on? And like, why would you choose it versus, maybe not continuing on Instagram or not continuing on, like a YouTube or something like that?
I found out about it from the normal way, which is people being like, oh, they have an OnlyFans, and then the, demonization that happens to women that in general. And so I hadn't really thought about it. And then, lo and behold, I didn't realize that I was apparently sitting on gold, which is me. So,
You're like, have you seen me? This face is a moneymaker. Thank you.
All right, then I'll do this. And I get to be really creative. I mean, I make music videos, so I get to use my videography background, my weird like performance background. I get to act. It's fun. I get to do my own music video and tell a story, and tell the story of what chronic illness is. So
let's talk about chronic illness a little bit, because you actually have had some chronic illness stuff. You're going through some stuff now, and you've had some stuff in the past, right? And so you've had quite an unfortunate series of events when it comes to your health. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? And maybe that's a little bit some of the reason why you decided to go into OnlyFans, because it's easier to maybe do at home than going out to some of these other places?
Oh my gosh, yeah. So I grew up sick. I have a liver disease, and so that affects my, everything, my autoimmune system, whatever. And then whenever I was 25, I had a cerebral aneurysm and had 2 brain surgeries. And now I am dealing with my boobs, fixing the situation that is at hand. So I've lived it my whole life, and people never really understood and still don't understand what chronic illness is. And so I wanted to be able to show exactly what it is. And it doesn't mean that you can't do anything. It just means that you have to really listen to your body and this is how I'm able to do it. I'm able to make money, listen to my body, and take care of it, and do what needs to be done. There's also a million cats and animals around here. Sorry.
No, I love it. I personally love it. Let's Discord for Creators. Keely is saying Sitting on Gold is another OnlyFans channel. That's the name of a perfect OnlyFans channel.
BRB. I will be right back.
Jonathan Gatson says, only for the fans. LOL.
Hey.
Hey. Now, I think it's an interesting choice because I know that you had said that one of the things with dealing with chronic illness is you can't always have predictability when it comes to what days you feel good, what days you have energy, and what days you don't. And being able to be on OnlyFans has kind of made it easier for you to work around that, where you can make content when you're feeling better, and then you can kind of back off when you're not feeling as good. And I would find that probably makes you feel a lot more comfortable, because going to like a 9-to-5 job, they don't really always take that well into a just come in when you feel better type of attitude.
No. I mean, there's actually a large disability community in like this aspect of work, because a lot of women that find themselves sick, we have a bunch of medical bills, and we can't hold a job like a traditional 9-to-5 job because of what it means. You know, they're not going to let me leave to go to a doctor's appointment. They're not going to let me do that. And when I'm not feeling well, you know, that's not going to happen either. So what I'm able to do by being a content creator is bank my content whenever I'm feeling good enough, and then release it in, you know, stages. And so then I have a steady amount of income coming in, whereas, you know, I'd just be scrambling. So yeah.
Or possibly not have a job, right? And
Yeah.
one of the things is, like, a lot of the time it can become almost like this whole family event, or like you have to have the support of the people, because you don't want to be in constant fights with people who might also be in the same house about what kind of content you're making or the fact that you're making it. Would you say that you have a supportive network in place? Like your husband is on board with this, or were there any reservations with that?
No, he is on board. We had discussed it. This was anything that I specifically do is always a discussion with my husband, because we are just a weird Morticia and Gomez kind of couple. But he was supportive. He was like, you know, he had some things to get through, but he really loves that I'm getting to be creative. I'm having fun. I'm making money, and he's proud of me. And now he gets to see it and be like, this is really neat. He gets to see my end product, and it's neat. So I'm proud of what I do. I like what I do.
That's nice. Now, you also have started a Twitch channel, right, where you're actually doing video gaming type stuff with your
Yes.
family. Is that correct? So now the rest of the family has also caught the bug. Is that right?
I have had a Twitch channel for we're coming up on a year. And yeah, I started gaming just to show that you could literally be anyone and game, and all the cool things that you can do with gaming. So yeah, I stream with my husband, and then my friend Boy Roy, who is also like one of my buds in the Xbox world, and we just all have a good time. I love it.
You're almost at your 1-year Twitch anniversary. That's so exciting. And you found that it's a lot more. You said you started that originally to be able to hang out with your son. Is that correct?
Well, I started it to honestly just show what it was to be able to like to show a mom gaming, to be like, this is how you play poorly. This is how you would play video games with your mom, and it's completely fine, you know. And I started playing video games and taking an interest in them more because of my son and my husband. And then that's whenever I just really got into it, because I saw that I could be there for that. Because I can't be involved in sports. I can't be outside with a lot of medications. I can't live my life the same way. So this way I'm able to bond with my family, and I can do that from a hospital bed. So I think that's great.
That is nice. That's kind of like you really finding inventive ways to be able to stay home, but also make money. So now, as opposed to going out and getting one of these jobs, are you able to make enough money? Are you like even satisfied with how much money that you're making and contributing to or is it way more than you ever thought, or way less, or about the same?
It's
Uh-oh.
Sorry, excuse me.
Oh. This is where she's like, I've been sitting on gold and it's a honeypot, so.
I didn't know. Yeah, it's done a lot better than I thought it would. I am very happy and pleased with it. I don't have a lot of fans because I curate my community. So like you have to be vetted to be there. And so I have a good thing going with that, and I'm still kind of like, wow, I can't believe people like my stuff, because I am just getting to be a creative person, and I'm video editing and getting to do cool camera angles and shots and neat stuff.
Let me put this comment up on the screen real quick. Keely from Discord for Creators says, I love that you're showing all of these different facets of yourself as a full woman through your content. Little emoji with the with the little, I'm like, I don't know what this is.
Thanks,
with
baby.
With the bicep curl.
Yeah.
Right? They're like, yeah, super mom, super woman, all that good stuff, right? No, and I think that's such a great thing right there. You're like, people are complicated, women are complicated, and we are multifaceted. And I feel like there is, like you said earlier, there's kind of that stigma when it comes to, like, you can be a mom or you can be a woman, but don't be too much of a woman. Don't be like too sexy. Don't be too too much of anything is just always just way too much. And have you found that you've had some people, I like how you said that you vet your community so you can filter out some of the assholes who have to say some of these things to you. So what's your vetting process look like when you're creating and cultivating this warm culture of like supporters?
I have a welcome message, and if the person is, doesn't like the welcome message or has an issue with it, then I just kick them out. Because you basically, when somebody subs to you, you can send them a message, and it's basically like you can send them a rules list, like, hey, this is how I operate my thing. And so if there's any kind of negative anything, I can just boot you out. And I don't share what my thing is either, because I like to have just a special layer now. Because it can get weird out there in the Wild West. I'm telling you what.
I have no doubt.
But OnlyFans has really good protection that, like, honestly, I'm really sad that a lot of platforms don't, because OnlyFans, you can block by IP address. And that's something that, as a creator, we all would love to be able to block by IP address, because, I mean, when somebody's making all those alt accounts, but I've specifically used that, that feature and had it work out great, and I love it. I mean, I feel the safest on that platform than any other platform.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Would you say that how else, like, what do they do to protect you in terms of safety, or what makes you feel like the most secure and safe over there?
Whenever you have an OnlyFans account, you have to sign up with, you have to sign up, and there's a little bit more of, I would call it more of a vetting process than there is with like Instagram or anything like that. I know as a creator, I had to put in special information, but I also know that because OnlyFans is the way it is, that a lot of people will not follow you there. So,
do you mean because of the extra layers of protection and safety?
Yeah, and because a lot of people are afraid of OnlyFans. Like, they really dehumanize anybody that's on there, and it's like, it's not bad. It's really a neat platform, and I like it. So, haven't had any issues, and I get paid. So,
how do they pay over there? Because YouTube has their creator program, and so for you, like, when it is on OnlyFans, people are signing up for like a monthly thing, or like they pay for a quarter, and then you get like a certain percentage, or how does that work for people who are new to OnlyFans? Like, what's their creator payout structure look like?
Well, I would say it's different for every woman or man or anyone, because they can decide how they want their income to come in. So like you can have it set for subs, so then you get monthly, and then also you make tips. So you can have like an account that is free, where you don't have like mine, you have to sub. It's a $5 sub, but like you have to be subbed. And then for visibility and stuff, you can do more of a open account, but I don't know, I forgot. I just lost it.
Oh, it's okay. You've had brain damage. It's totally cool.
Yeah, it's the brain damage. Leave me alone.
No, I
But,
know.
oh, yeah,
That's why. That's always. It's like always an easy out. I'm like, dude, I've had
Got
brain
it.
surgery. I don't know. Like
I got it.
I had a brain
It's a
aneurysm. I don't know.
business.
It's a little fuzzy right now. Like,
Yeah, I'm like, leave me alone. But,
so
it's
we're
a
gonna do a
business.
little palate cleanser here for just 1 second. So first of all, people in the chat, can we get some like round of applause or little clappies over here for MahatMama? We're gonna run a little quiz for all of the people out in the chat, and I was talking with you beforehand, but I have a friend, Jessica Stansberry, and she is kind of like from the Midwest, and she had said in an Instagram story, this is where I was following her, she was saying that people miscommonly pronounce Appalachian, and that it's technically Appalachian. And she's like, and it drives us a little batty. And she's like, I know it sounds funky, but if you're over here, people will want you to say Appalachian. And if you say it the other way, they're going to look at you a little funny and be like, that's not how you say it. So I was trying to confirm or deny. So we're going to start with, can you confirm or deny that it should be pronounced Appalachian versus Appalachian?
I can strongly confirm that.
That it should be Appalachian. That it should be
I
Appalachian.
can so strongly confirm that, yes.
And the
it is
reason why I knew
Appalachian.
that I could ask you is because it says Desi Appalachian in your Twitter profile or somewhere. And I was just like, there's no way that you wouldn't have an opinion then on the pronunciation if you literally have it in your handle. So will you tell us a little bit, if you know, why do people always mess that one up like so much?
I really don't know. It's like people don't know that West Virginia is a completely different state than Virginia a lot of times too. So that I don't get. I don't know. I really don't understand Appalachian, because I think it looks the way it should come out, but I don't know. I grew up here. I'm biased.
Yeah, no, it's just funny because I'd always all my life called it Appalachian Mountains, Appalachian Range,
Yeah.
Appalachian whatever, and when she said that in her Instagram story, I was just like, what? And so I remember like that sticking out like a sore thumb, and we're like, well, I'm certainly not going to say that around here and have everyone be like, what are you, well, not that it comes up very often, but like, what are you saying? But I knew when I saw it in your profile, I was like, I have to ask her. I have to ask.
I must know.
I must know. How do you say it?
I'll let you know.
What is Desi Appalachian? What does that mean?
So Desi means that I am like Indian. I'm like a Indian diaspora. So I'm from New Delhi, India, but grew up in America. And so I'm Indian and Appalachian. So, yeah. I am adopted from New Delhi, India, and transplanted to Appalachia. So ethnically, I'm Indian. But culturally, I'm
yeah,
Appalachian.
they're different. Okay, no, it's
Yeah.
perfect. That's perfect. First of all, in the audience here, I have to ask: did you have it as Appalachian or Appalachian? Like, which way do you say it, or that you know it? So you've got to put phonetically.
Desi Appalachian.
No. So
guess-
anyone out there, you guys got to put how you would say Appalachian or now Appalachian. So I'm just curious. So. Now, when it comes to OnlyFans, would you say that the majority of the creators are female versus like male? Like, if you had to put a guesstimate on that, do you think you have any idea? Like, is it way more trending one versus the other?
I haven't seen the statistics on it, so I wouldn't know how to answer that. But I know that, I know the same amount of people that have an OnlyFans that are men. But I do know that, it's more, I see more women I don't know, young women like that have one. So I'm not sure. I haven't really like joined a OnlyFans community group there yet. I'm just kind of doing my own thing and seeing what happens.
Do
So
you feel like you're part of a community, like a creator community over there, kind of like you see on YouTube, or is it something that you like find is lacking, or like how's the support been as like a creator? Like where do you go to learn, like when you're learning and doing it for yourself?
I honestly, you just learn it. You have to. I didn't know how to do it. I had to learn the whole platform myself. There's not really a lot of help, but it is pretty straightforward. Um, However, if you are starting an OnlyFans or something like that, it's good to have somebody that has already done one before that you can
Right.
ask questions.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, you need some help.
Exactly. And I would think just like when you're learning to do YouTube and you're looking around for people to help you understand, like, what are the mechanics? How do you get paid? Like, how often should you be posting? Like, how do you set up rules and make sure that you're safe? I would feel like there is a huge need for that because you want to make sure you're doing it safely. You want to make sure you're doing it like correctly. You want to make sure, I don't know, do you just have all these safeguards in place? And I was like, I hope that there is someone out there kind of like taking someone or like some sort of education, taking someone by the hand and being like, if you're going to do this, let's do it like safely and smartly. I don't know. Like, I feel like
I'm trying.
I hope it's out there.
Trying.
No, that's why I'm so glad that you're on because I want people, if you're going to do it, like do it smart. Just like if you're going to do YouTube, learn, and see there are all sorts of things you shouldn't do. I want you to know here, I'm going to put some up on the screen. Hold on. It says Discord. She said, Keely says, I'll fess to having it wrong, but I'm learning a ton today. So mind blown emoji. So you've got one, you got the Canadian changing her pronunciation. And Pixel Pia says, I never said it one way or the other because, I only said it in Swedish. But now you know how to say it.
There you go.
Dutch Can Gem says, I'd say it as Appalachian. And Jonathan Gadsden says Appalachian because I'm not from there. See, now that you know better, we're going to do better, right? Appalachian because I'm, let's see here. And we've got MahatMama's next channel, teaching OnlyFans as creators. Would you ever consider teaching up and coming people who want to get onto the platform how to OnlyFans?
Yeah, I have actually done that already for many. I would say many. I would say some. I think 5 is many. So
that
for
is
many
a lot.
women, I just started it in February, and I have wanted to help other women do that because there really is a lot of freedom in it, and as long as you have the support and the go ahead, then yeah, you should totally be thinking about this because it's a great way to make money off of just posting yourself in a bathing suit.
Oh, so we're not even okay. Bathing suit.
Oh yeah, like
All
there's
right.
feet people.
Oh, I would assume just like on YouTube, there's every kind of people, right? There's people who probably like it if you dress up as Harry Potter characters, and people who like it if you're only in swimsuits, and people who like it if you only take pictures of your feet, just like you said. So
Yeah.
all the things. And, Discord for creators, I'm sure Keely would be more than happy to be like, hey, let's get you set up a Discord. Let's get you set up with like a community where you can bring all these people together to start learning. And
I do need to learn Discord. So
oh my God, you got to talk to Keely. Keely helped me set up mine, and she can get it all set up with all kinds of like rules and bots and things. Like go talk to Keely. She'll help you set up all that. Yeah. I will pass you her information later. Keely, reach out to MahatMama. She needs help with that. And then let's see. Glenn Webb says, "NB my bestie, you rule, girl." Do you know Glenn Webb?
yes, he's a good friend.
He's like, here I am. So
I'm here.
I am here. You rule. You rule.
Sweet angel.
You know what, though? I think that's a great thing if you're looking for another stream of income. And you know how I always talk about, well, maybe you don't. I always talk about having multiple slices of revenue pie for your overall, income. And it seems like, one, if you can identify a huge hole in the market, which might be education on how to get up and running with OnlyFans, and it seems like you have some expertise or knowledge in that area and you want to help shepherd and guide people through it, could be something from your own experience where you help people through that, and you could also be rewarded financially, right?
Yeah, might do it.
Dutchcan Jim says, that's funny, Dave. Only Discord with Keely.
I love it.
And
Only
Pixel P, this
Discord.
is another rousing recommendation. She's saying learning Discord from Keely is the best way to do it. And she says, thanks, gang. I'm here for all y'all. Aw. Glenn Webb says, chatting with you from Bali at 6 a.m. Bali sounds amazing. Oh my gosh. I'm sure it's so picturesque. You could have many, many pictures, beautiful pictures of you in a swimsuit in Bali. I would go to
I
Bali
know.
to take a picture in a
Glenn.
swimsuit. I wouldn't post it, but I want to do that. I so want to do that. So you just actually touched on something there, though. You said you just someone in a swimsuit. So it also comes back to, you don't have to make it as racy if you don't want to. I mean, or it could just be a community of like-minded people. So like the lawnmower person or something like that. Have you had any really cool, fun stories of like just other communities that you've seen get set up where you're like, I would not have thought of that? Like maybe a Simpsons. You know what? I would consider doing like an OnlyFans for like Friends lovers. Like where we just go through every episode of Friends and just talk about like, were they on a break? Is Ross in the wrong? Does this show still hold up? I would also consider doing that as just a podcast by itself, because I used to love Friends. I would watch the entire series like front to end, like at least once a year. Like I had the box sets of extended versions. Like I would totally get down with either some sort of like podcast, or like I would throw it on OnlyFans and be like, let's talk Friends. Friends all day long. But like, anyways,
All friends.
all friends all the time.
All friends all the time.
Only
baby.
friends. Only friends.
Only friends. There's
friends.
a GIF of that too, and it's
Oh,
one
shut
of my
up.
favorite GIFs.
I
Yeah.
love it. Totally. I'd be like, oh, only friends.
Yeah.
Wait, we got one. It says Pixel P. Wait. She says, fat Swedish 64-year-old in a bikini. Maybe not. Well, you had me until the maybe not, but like, I'm sure there's a community for that too, right? Because I'm sure there are people out there who like, ladies who are about to have a baby, and they're people like only older than certain ages. You know what I mean? So
this is really the a side thing of it that happened, is that I started feeling better about myself because I realized that I think men don't really care as much as women think. Really, men do not care as much about what you look like as you think.
I think women are way harder on themselves, I think, than some of the men looking at them are. Right?
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah, so
because men are okay, not to categorize all of you guys out there, okay, but I feel like in general, speaking in generalities, okay, men are just happy to be at the party. Like they're just like, happy to be invited.
Yeah,
You're like, I'm here. They're like, you want to show me a swimsuit and you're 64? Great. You want to show me a swimsuit and you're 34? Great. I'm happy. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for inviting me to the party. And I feel like women are the ones who are like, oh, but like, I've got these roles where I shouldn't, or whatever else it is. They're a lot more critical.
Yeah, and like when you start seeing your body more, you end up to be like, yeah, that's my body. It's a cool body, and I like it. So it helps me with my like chronic illness and not hating my body mentally kind of thing. So
you could also keep it as almost like a video diary of like, what did my body look like in this year or this month, or especially if you're going through medical treatments or if you're going through different things like that.
That's what I do, is I call it my my strip diary. So because it's literally all I do. So
yeah.
Whatever.
Well, I mean, I've seen some people who, let's say they've put on 30 pounds because of the panini that we're in, or they're on a fitness journey to lose the 30 pounds that they've put on from the panini. And so even something like being able to go back, like documenting your fitness journey or something like that, that could be really powerful for a lot of people who have either the body dysmorphia or aren't used to seeing themselves in the new way, in a new body, and really being like, look at where I was, or look at my face then, or, look at whatever, even if in a swimsuit or not.
It's amazing. That's one of the reasons why I did it too, is I wanted to be like, I don't know what my body is going to look like in the future because we don't know. Nobody knows. but I want to preserve it now, like just show it, be like, you know what, this is what it looked like at this point, and 34, it's pretty good, so I'll take it.
It reminds me a little bit, I don't know if you ever watched Sex and the City way back in the day when it was on HBO, where Samantha takes like photos of herself and then like frames them to be like,
yeah,
I'm this hot and I'm never, I'm only ever going to be older, so I'm going to like freeze frame it and be like, dang, I was hot or something like that, right? I mean, it's like that. That's kind of moment. That's what I did. Yeah, she's like, dang, I'm hot. Look at me.
Like, I'm like, there you go, girl. So whenever I'm like, whenever I am going through recovery of treatment and whatever, I can look at that and be like, I can get back to that. And because whenever you're going through illness, it can just be a really dark place. So it's a good way to deal with it, I guess, if you're weird like me.
Hold on one second here. Discord for Creators, Keely says, I just Googled to find a New York Times article which explained to me that panini is shorthand for the nickname for the pandemic. And I just want you to know that I'm learning so much. It hasn't stopped over here. And yeah, maybe if you're newer and you don't realize, yes, panini means pandemic. And the reason why a lot of people also started using it is because like if you used the other word that it stands for, then a lot of the times your videos would either get hit with like misinformation. You get like the little medical information banner. You could get demonetized. I mean, I could get demonetized for throwing around the F-bomb, but you know what I'm saying? Like they were trying to reduce reasons why they would get demonetized or like hit with the little medical information banner. So Keely, for you, we're here for you in your educational, in your journey.
Yes, we are.
Now I'd love to know, what would you want people to like kind of take away from being on OnlyFans or like exploring that? Like, is there any like reasons to do it, reasons not to do it, or just like general things that you want people to take away from it or share?
The thing about it is that no. I go, no. I mean, I love it. I've said it already, is that you make it what it is. So you can make it a cool community and live your best life there. And I think it's a really neat opportunity if that's something you're interested in.
I think Keely would say the same about Discord, right? It is kind of what you put into it, the community that you build over there and what you allow and don't allow, and working within the confines of the rules, regulations, and safety measures, stuff like that. Like it doesn't have to be this scary thing. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. It doesn't have to be something also that you're ashamed of. Like, and I feel like there has been a lot of that stigma, like you kind of talked about, like, before it was always like, oh, she has an OnlyFans or he has an OnlyFans, and now are you finding that like that tide is shifting? It's a little bit more like accepted, or is it still kind of like, ooh, we don't talk about Bruno over here?
It's still that. It's still the we don't talk about Bruno thing.
Really? I would think now of all like I remember. So what was the Cash Me Outside girl?
Oh God,
whatever it is or something. Yeah. And I remember, so her, the day that she turned 18, I think she launched an OnlyFans, and then one of the people in like the Hype House, I don't think it's the Hype House, it's the Jake Paul or the Logan Paul house. One of those people, one of those groups of people. Nope, that's not it. What was the one with oh God, David Dobrik? He had this whole group of people. There was a girl in that also launched an OnlyFans, and she had made on launch day like millions of dollars. And I think that Cash Me Outside girl made millions on her launch day. And so
Bad like Barbie has made a bunch.
Yeah, and so there was a whole bunch of people like really kind of talking about it and being like, you may be saying things, I'm making all this money, and and I felt like it really was injected into the main conversation though of today's media. Like all these people are making money, they're kind of doing what they want. But you're saying maybe it's still kind of, we don't talk about Bruno?
Yes, because there's a lot of negativity around it still. Depends on where you are, I would say. Also, the older generations are not as cool about it. But anybody that's like pretty much mentally 40 or under is fine.
Well, I feel like a lot of when you said thirst traps and being in swimsuits anyway, honestly, the first thing that popped into my head was actually like all these TikTokers. They're like 20. They're dancing around in bikinis. Honestly, they are. And the TikTok creator fund for what they're making on these, videos, which I'm sure is probably not at all what you'd be making in terms of like OnlyFans type of money. Like, if you're just going to be dancing around in your bikini top anyway, why wouldn't you do it maybe behind the paid paywall of like OnlyFans and make a whole bunch of money? Now, are you ever afraid that people will take or steal your content and put it anywhere else? Is that kind of one of the built-in safety things?
No, I don't worry about that because I know it's probably going to happen because that's the way the nature internet. That's just the way the internet is. Now they do make it to where it's harder to screenshot and things like that. You can't. There are things in place, but I don't get worried about it because I would say that I'm proud of my content and like I think what I'm doing is neat and I think it's powerful and good. So
well,
I have
you're
no
also
shame
not
in
making
it.
like adult content like with other people and like more sexually.
Yeah.
Yours is more like music videos, dancing around, and like
Yes.
you said, bathing suits. So even if it did,
Yeah.
people just be like, "Wow, she's really pretty with great
Yeah,
hair,
they're gonna
but
be
fully
like,
clothed or
"Oh."
in a swimsuit." Okay. We have a question here. Keely says, "I'm gonna put it up here. What is the biggest challenge that you have faced in creating your OnlyFans content?"
I would say time constraints because I have so many good ideas, and how I want my things to look is very professional because I had professional training, so I know how it should look. I
Tell
don't,
me
and I
about your
have a
professional training. What kind of professional training you talk about? Because I think you have a really great history, right?
yeah, I learned a lot at Marshall University, and I did a lot of I did broadcast there. I did print. I loved to do production. I was with WMUL, the radio station. So I'm really getting to use all of the things that I learned in college from 10 years ago and 15 years ago. Oh, God. And being able to use it now. And it makes me feel good. So I like it.
And I think you just hit on something that I did want to, like, it's not just like struggling people who are trying to get, like, we're talking like we're making beautiful films or using skills that I learned in college or, all this stuff. It's still getting to flex and use a lot of it. Plus you said stuff like, I'm making content calendars. I'm, planning out my content. I want it to look professional. This sounds like YouTube. This sounds like, content creation on any platform, whether it would be, Vivo or, TikTok or whatever. So it's not really that even that the content is that different or the process of creating content is that different. It's just you've chosen a separate platform to distribute your content, right? Would you kind of say, because like you could put it on YouTube, but you probably would get hit with a copyright claim for the music that you might be doing. You may or may not get hit with maybe the swimsuit being a thing, but there's tons of people dancing around in swimsuits on YouTube as well too, right? So it's just like, but you just chose OnlyFans as your distribution strategy for it. Is that kind of correct? And you did that because you felt safer and you had more safeguards and you make more money. Is that kind of all correct?
Yeah. I had researched it a lot before I started it. Like it was, something I didn't just rush into, and that's something that anybody should think about if they're going to do any sort of content creation. You really need to think about it as a business and put that effort into it. So that's.
No,
I'm not good at this.
I totally get it. No, you're doing great. You guys, everyone tell her that she's doing great. Tell her, like, you're doing great in the chat. Put you're doing great. Stop.
I'm trying over here.
You stop. You're doing fantastic. Because I could also see, I think I know someone who does like drone photography type videos and stuff like that. But a lot of the time she's in a swimsuit, So if she was also trying to teach people how to do droning and, hanging out in a swimsuit or video editing type stuff, that's the type of thing like she could totally be on OnlyFans because like she could get dinged for demonetization for being in a swimsuit too. So if like sometimes it just is safer, whether it is like, I don't know, you're selling swimsuits and you're doing like, it could be anything. Like I could almost see like a swimsuit company having an OnlyFans where they have different people come in and model the swimsuits, because I feel like they could get hit all the time, whether it's on Instagram or on YouTube for, you know, the type of content depending on the swimsuit. Like, just for instance, there could be swimsuits that have like the thong, you know, back, but if they turn around, all of a sudden YouTube is going to ding them and possibly get taken off the platform. But it's what that swimsuit is, you know, and that's what it looks like. And so, like, if you're also a swimsuit company trying to sell that product, I feel like you can be on OnlyFans, have pictures of the swimsuits and not get away with it, but like have more leniency on like what is like what your product is. Or if you were, I mean, you could stick in the OnlyFans type of territory. Like, what if you're some company, I have seen this on YouTube, who's done sponsorships or videos about like adult toys or adult things. Like, you're going to get tossed off the platform really, really quickly, whereas opposed to on an OnlyFans, maybe you're giving tutorials about like how, you know, what it is, how you use something, and that's never going to fly, it seems like, on YouTube. So.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of opportunities for some really cool content there. So I like it.
Good.
I like it.
You've got some people here. They're saying OnlyFans creators, just like YouTube creators, right? OF creators, just like YT creators. And in fact, I would just say, you know, content creators. It's just, you know, we're all content creators, right? And okay, so Dave's saying you're doing awesome. Pixel PS says you're doing fantastic. Here, let me put some of these up. Let's see here. And put these on screen. You gotta get them all. Glenn Webb says, I'm biased, but yup. And Dutch King Jam says, I'm learning lots. Jonathan Gatson says, you're doing great. And Keely says, dude, I am enthralled and I'm serious that I'm learning stuff. And then Jonathan Gatson says, don't worry. And then Glenn said, idea alert, contact swimsuit companies for OnlyFans content.
I am trying to, actually.
Actually, that's a great idea. No, I don't know if you're, you contact all the, you know, the swimsuit companies and be like, I have an OnlyFans and, you know, we should partner up so that your swimsuit show up on me whilst I am doing my videos.
Yes, I know.
And then
I'm like,
you can probably take some suitable for the internet, like photos for your Instagram or whatever to encourage people to. He says, cha-chillin' or cha-ching.
That's what I'm trying to do, buddy. I'm out here hustling, trying to do my best. But it's one of those things that, like, when you look at it and you look at modeling and you look at the culture that's around in modeling, there's a lot of toxic stuff. Like, you remember, like, the agents and all that kind of stuff. I'm able to get gigs just from my OnlyFans. Like, I did a cool collaboration with Eve 6, the 90s band. Yeah.
I remember you posting something about that in your Instagram story or something like that. And I was like, dude, Inside Out used to be like one of my favorite songs. Yes.
Yeah, like I got to do a collab with them, and thank you, Max. Shout out. But because, you know, they liked my stuff and they thought I was talented and whatever. So
they found your content from OnlyFans.
I gave it to them and said, hey, I want to do this whole thing with my aneurysm story and talking about how it's all in my head, and I'd like to use
my gosh, that's so good.
And I was like, yo, what do you think? And Max was like, I think that's awesome. And I was like, okay, cool.
I love that.
So he's a wonderful person. So
that's such a good one. I mean, if you can find those different inroads with like different bands or stuff like that, and too, to have them be open-minded enough to be like, that sounds good. Yeah, I like that. Because some people are a little bit more conservative when it comes to lending their name or credibility or whatever song to something like that. They may feel like comes off as a little more progressive. So kudos to Eve 6. We're going to have to give them a round of applause for working with you on that. I love that. Yay. Have you had any other like really awesome opportunities that have come out because of your work on OnlyFans?
I would say they are still in the works, but yeah.
That sounds like something is coming down the pipe. You got to give us a little more than that. Like,
I don't know. I know that I will be doing some cool things. I have to focus on my health first, but after that, I'm gonna come back swinging. So
that's awesome.
There's my man.
Oh, hello. I know you said that one of the reasons that you got into this too was to cover like medical expenses, right? So you're able to work and on your own time, on your own schedule, and then be home for, work and family life. Would you say that you have to work a lot more than like a normal 9 to 5, or you're really able to carve out your own schedule and kind of keep it to so many hours per week? Or
I would say that I am able to cut things out and schedule my time. So then, I am going to be keeping up with social media because that's the nature of the beast at this point. But I can create all my content and bank it and have everything ready. It's great. It really does work for my schedule. And then to be able to schedule around like doctor's appointments and then have money to pay for doctor's appointments because those are expensive. So, it's all good things. And I wanted to come and do this with you because I was like, I really am not ashamed of what I'm doing. And I just wanted to, de-weaponize it because people would hang it over me and I'd be like, I'm not ashamed of it though. Have you seen it? It's funny. Like,
I love that. And you know what, for anyone who's doing like the content where, it's more adult in nature, if you're proud of it, then be proud of it, and I feel like in California, it's a very big industry. Well, around the world, it's a very big industry. And if you're a willing participant and you like it and that's how you want to make money, then like, fine. And it's difficult sometimes when I see other women or men be very judgmental of how people like decide to make money or live their life or use their bodies if they're willing and wanting to do it. It's totally another thing if they're not willing and they're being forced to do it. But if you have the right mindset to be like, nope, this is what I want to be doing, and I like the money that I'm making, and this is how I spend it, and I'm not ashamed, then I feel like there should really stop being as much of like the shame, the finger pointing, like you shouldn't do that, or aren't you ashamed, right? It's like, really, like, shouldn't we be supporting each other with you go?
Yeah.
Like, how is it if you don't believe in it, don't buy a subscription to it. Don't do it yourself. Don't, but like to shame someone else for how they want to live their life or spend their money or make their money, I think it's just like kind of a wrong type of thing. I don't know. Thoughts on that? Since you're kind of in that world.
I would say yes, completely. There's so much like negative talk about it. And it's sadly like some of it does come from women, and I hate that because, man, I just want everybody to succeed. And
Right.
and not everybody is going to make the same choices because we're all different people. But this is what's working for my family, and I like to make money, whereas before this I was not. Like, this is great. So
I just kind of feel like, especially for all of those self-called feminists out there, it's not just feminism if like, like it's only your way. It's like if a woman wants to decide to post music videos of herself wearing swimsuits and making money and she's not hurting you, I think that feminism is like supporting her in her choice to be able to do that. And I think that like some people sometimes need to take a step back from their high horse about that. That's my personal opinion on that. We're going to go to a question from the audience. Dutch Can Jam says, earlier you said fans are vetted. So if I understand correctly, when someone signs up for your OnlyFans, they are vetted before they have access, versus Twitter, it's a public platform. You just sign up with an email and you're in. You want to touch on that again briefly on the on how you decide, how you have people in your community or not?
yeah, so I'm still like getting it all down too, but I definitely have the welcome message whenever you subscribe because it unlocks all my stuff. And so you get the welcome message and there you are. And but to get to that point, I don't share my link on things often. Let's just say that because I want to be able to tell who people are, kind of. I never really know who people are necessarily unless they tell me. Um, but I want to be able to keep track of my fans and have them coming in stages. So then they're safe stages. You know what I mean? Does this make sense? It's like a whole siphoning thing, and I ask them questions to be
So if
like,
I
what
went
do
to
you think
OnlyFans
about
though and I
this?
signed up, could I search like your name and I would find you and then I just sign up for your subscription? Would that mean I get access to everything, or is there some other level of like, yeah, you may have signed up, but you also have to agree to these rules and you have to like, because is
Um,
it otherwise just public and I can just sign up and be like, okay, here we go, let's go see some like music videos?
You do have to put in all your card information, so that's a big deterrent for a lot of people because to be on the platform, you have to have it linked. So a lot of people will be like, no. um, but yeah, I mean, you can do that, but I'm watching my stuff all the time, so you know, I keep a track on my community. I'm a watchful warden.
Have you had any instances where you've had someone be like kind of inappropriate or leave? I'm assuming it's like you can leave comments on videos and stuff like that. Is that kind of how that works? Okay, so have you
Yeah.
had anything where like someone has really tried to violate like, I don't know, privacy or like boundaries where they leave some sort of comment where you had to yeet them from the community?
Oh, I've yeeted someone. Yeah,
Oh
like
yeah.
they were. Oh yeah, they got yeeted real good, and on every platform because they started harassing me on every platform I had. Um, and so yeah, that's something that can happen, and that was because I hadn't done the vetting yet. I thought it was like, oh yeah, you can just come hang, and no, you cannot just come hang. No, you don't get to just watch this show for free, baby, and I don't know you. So
That's fair
now
enough.
I
That's
do it
fair
like
enough.
this.
Now you're like, okay, I get it. So
Yeah.
Pixelpia has a great comment. She says, women who look down on other women, it's often a cover for, if only I had the courage to. Some of those people like saying the worst, nastiest things are rooted a little bit in jealousy. And I can totally, I would agree to that. And I think it's the same on every platform, whether it's YouTube or, Instagram or anywhere where someone has the courage to use or display their body how they want to. And there's a little bit of, or just make general content. There are a lot of people who are very angry about the fact that like other people choose to make content, and a lot of the time they always have excuses why they haven't or why they couldn't, or why then that person's content sucks. And it's really rooted in that deep jealousy of like, I'm just mad because I wish I could do that, so I'm going to tear yours down. I don't know.
Yeah,
You
I'm
kind
like,
of find that to be true?
oh, for sure. Yeah, and I'm just like, well, where's yours? I don't I don't see it. And that's my reaction
And a lot of people
because
always leaving like with the hateful comments with the no profile picture and the
yeah.
right, like the or like you go and you look on their Twitter and it's only like poking the bear, like being a troll on everyone's account. I'm like, oh, so you just have nothing else to do with your life. You're just sad and
Yeah.
miserable and looking for any kind of negative attention. Right.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's ridiculous. So, and from where I have done a good job with my community and cultivating it and stuff, everyone's really respectful. Like I say on my like welcome messages, please be respectful and kind. So I actually have like a message that's like, hey, be cool,
Yeah, I've seen that now starting to pop up on live streams on YouTube as well, where it says like some channels are able to set like rules, like 3 rules for the chat, keeping it respectful or being able to like make up their own rules. And I think it's really important that that there either are some of those safeguards, or I've seen it on Twitter where it's like a lot of people don't send messages that contain this type of language. Those kind of warnings are starting to come out, and I feel like so many people hide behind this anonymity and like having to sometimes be held accountable, take that extra second, at least, be like, I acknowledge that I'm going to, be respectful in this chat, because then it's really easy to eat them. Be like, you said that you weren't going to name call. Here you are name calling, right? Or you said that you weren't going to do all these X, Y, and Z, and here you are doing X, Y, and Z. So now you got to go. You're getting yeeted.
now you're gone.
Now
Bye.
you're gone. Now you're gone.
Bye.
Well, you know what? This was an awesome conversation. We're about at the top of the hour. Is there anything that you really want to share with the group? Anything that you want to leave them with as a message, or where can people find you? All that good stuff.
I am just thank you for having me here, and
Of course.
like I really wanted a chance to just be like, yeah, it's not that bad. Can we be adults here? I mean, I'm in a bathing suit and just doing weird music videos. So I love it. I love what I'm doing. I am grateful if you even like me. I don't know why or how, but thanks for the support. And I did want to do some shout outs because I do have
Please
yeah.
do. Here, let me put you on screen and go do your thing.
I wanted to shout out HHJ, Most Exalted, Xavier, Ramel, Attract Funding, Kim and Nick, of course, and my Twitter Spaces people, and Guaz, Stone, Gamer MD, Sumo, Diamonds, Raj Patel, Arbro, and OMG Mommy. And of course, Boy Roy.
Well done. Well done. That was a great list. Did you tell them that you were going to be on a live stream and you're like, tune in, I'm going to shout you all out? I love that.
I did. Oh, and I missed Courtney Craven, Grant Stoner. There we go.
All right. Well done. Well done. So to all of you people out there who are supporting MahatMama, kudos to you. So let me also, then why don't you tell people where they can find you? Obviously they can search for you on OnlyFans, or do you have to have a direct link? The only reason, FYI, people in the chat today or anyone watching this on replay, that we're not linking to it, well, besides you didn't necessarily want to, was that last Saturday I did a live stream talking about rules and policies and whatnot. And one of the rules was linking to certain sites that may have the connotation of adult content, which could possibly, not probably, possibly get you in trouble. So right now we have links to all of your social media if they want to follow you on Instagram and Twitter and Twitch. Those are all in the description down below. But if they were to search for you on this site, would they find you, or how would they find you?
They won't. They have to be referred by me.
So I would say if you are interested in swimsuits and music videos, then you need to follow her on a social media and then maybe DM you. Is that kind of how that works? Okay,
that's how I do it.
That's the path. That's the pathway to do it. Okay, see?
I know, I went all weird with it, but I'm, hey, I do what I got to do. So
whatever makes you feel safe, right? Dude,
yeah.
I totally understand. All right, so everyone else that's in the chat, make sure, can we get some round of applauses and some thumbs up on this video for MahatMama? Please go check her out on all of her socials, and Keely, maybe help her set up her Discord so that she can teach other people about how to do OnlyFans. Sounds like a great match made in heaven there. So we're going to say thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you in an episode very, very soon. Hope you all have a great night. Thanks for tuning in. Bye, everyone. Say bye.
Bye.